How you guys doing? Like for real, you guys doing okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah? Well, I'm glad you guys are here. I'm going to show you the pay attention prizes. Is it okay if I pray with you first? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Father God, thank you so much for today. Thank you so much for these guys. I just pray for this life skills time. I pray that we would all just learn a little bit more. We'd be encouraged and motivated. I pray that we'd have mutual respect for each other. I pray that I would learn from the guys as much as they may learn from me. And just bless this time. Thank you for them. And I pray for blessings on whatever they got going on they're facing. Could be court stuff, family stuff, whatever issues they may be facing. I pray that you would bless and you'd guide them in that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, let me show you the pay attention prizes. They're pretty good, by the way. They're pretty good. So we got for the non-mystery one, it's a double skateboard set with Takis. Okay, so double skateboard set with Takis. That's number one. You can pick that one if you want, or if you're so brave, the mystery box. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? That sounds good. You have no clue what's in here.
I thought the water bottle sounded good too.
That went thump thump, didn't it? That was
It's gonna be like a deck of cards.
That is a good guess. Remember, the mystery box, it could be good, it could be bad,
Or mediocre.
it could be nothing.
I mean, there's something.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's good.
He's just gonna go on and off, so we're gonna know.
What I'm gonna do one of these times, I'm gonna have like a big old box for the mystery box. I'm gonna like wrap it in Christmas present, Christmas wrapping paper, and then it'll be nothing. That'll be hilarious for me.
No.
Hilarious for me.
Don't put a box inside a box and it's gonna just end up being nothing.
I don't want to work that hard. I've seen that before where you do a box and a box and a box. Caleb enjoyed his water.
I was pretty thirsty. I was pretty thirsty.
You know the rules, Willie. You had plenty of time. You had plenty of time. Did you? Oh,
It's gonna be his wallet or
well,
something.
I need it for the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have another one on me. I'm sorry.
Where's your special pen?
Okay, it's in my office. Okay, you guys ready?
No.
What men need to know about winning and about losing. These are lessons, as I've said a lot of times before, these are lessons that either I did learn when I was your age or I wish I would have. So that's why I'm doing this. What men need to know about winning and losing. You ready? Number one. We all want to win. And here's the thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to want to win. You might want to win at basketball. I saw Zach and Brendan. Was Brendan playing you, Zach? You guys both you were wanting to win, I could tell. As much as Lavari wanted to win, every single time I played him 1v1, guess who's won?
You.
I won. Is that a true statement, Lavari? Is that a true statement? You know, now I won't tell you how many times we played, but every time, and he wanted to win. He wanted to win. Could be basketball, could be a video game, could be winning on an exam at school, could be winning socially in a friend group, could be winning financially with your finances, could be winning at home, could be winning at work, could be winning at Pineview, whatever. We want to win. It's ingrained in us. Now we may ignore it. We may say, I can't win because this happened before or whatever, but deep down inside, we really do want to win. Even if we've been beaten at the same game before, there's still something in us that says, I'm gonna try again. Who in here has really struggled, say through a video game? It was just really hard. You said, I'm not gonna play this. But then months later, you went back to it and said, I'm gonna try again. Any of you guys ever do that?
I have.
I mean, most of us have. I have too. The only games I really got into was the Arkham games, the Batman Arkham games. Have they done any new Arkham games recently? Not really. Was Origins the last one?
The last game he died.
Come again?
The
Don't break my heart. Don't break my heart. I don't know. Was it 360? Batman dies in the end. Well, it's just the video game universe, so I won't take it too hard. But see, remember November 1992. Superman died in number 75. That broke me because that was the real universe, right? Yeah. Yes, Tyler.
Another series gaming you might get into is Assassin's Creed.
I played it. It's decent. You know, I like the sneaking around stuff and whatever, kind of like an Arkham. So I do like that.
We're gonna see Rodney crying. We're gonna be like, Batman's dead.
Batman, Brucey. Yeah. Even if you've been beaten before, deep down inside, you want to win. And here's the thing: winning really is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Winning is a good thing. It makes us do a few things. It makes us feel good. When we win, there's feel-good chemicals that actually get released in our brain. It makes us feel good. It also gives us motivation. When we win, it gives us motivation to try again, to keep moving, that sort of thing. It also shows us, I'll get to you right in a second, Willie. It also shows others what we're capable of. It shows other people kind of what we're made of, kind of thing. So it makes us feel good, gives us motivation, and it shows the world what we're capable of, I guess you could say. Yes, Willie, go ahead.
If you win in the right way.
Oh, right. Well, that if you don't win in the right way, it's not really winning, is it? Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I think what it means, like, if you won a test, but you cheated, you know what I'm saying?
That's not really winning, right? I mean, you might get that grade, but
Game, but you use the cheat codes.
that's, yeah. Yeah, you may have gotten numbers on a screen, but,
Paying for another kid
You know.
to do your homework. That's not really.
right, that's not really winning. Yeah, yep. There's something built in us that says, I want to overcome, especially with men. There's just something inside of us that says, I want to overcome. I want to beat that thing. I want to beat that high score. I want to have victory over whatever adversary, whatever it may be. Especially men, they will look at a mountain of all things and they'll say, I'm going to climb that thing. A lot of times, what will ladies say if they look at a mountain? They're going to say what? It's beautiful, right? Now, some ladies, they like to be competitive, right? And they like to do that sort of thing. Jackson, for real, you're distracting me. But guys, they'll look at a mountain or whatever, and they'll say, you know, it is beautiful, but at the same time, I want to get on top of that thing. I want to beat that thing. They'll look at a bear. Who in here, not many of you do now, who in here remembers Steve George? He was the counselor before me. A couple of you do? A few of you do. Jackson, you remember him? He did wrestle a bear. Very good. So it's just like the Steve Georges in the world that says they look at a bear and they don't say, oh, it's a beautiful creature. Oh, you know, I wonder how soft it is. You know, that sort of thing. What he says is, I'm going to wrestle that thing to the ground. You know, that's what he said. And like he did. He did. Did he win? Did he win? I don't remember if he actually got it down or not. He did win?
It was a small bear. It was like as big as...
Okay, it was a small bear. It wasn't a baby. It was an adult. But it was a, I think it was a black bear. I think so. But kind of who cares? Men see an untouched piece of forest and they say, I'm going to clear that and I'm going to build a house on an untouched piece of forest. Men are designed to overcome, to conquer, to win. This idea is actually even reflected in our physical bodies, which are different than ladies. Our bodies are designed to carry a weight. Our bodies are designed to be strong and to move forward. It's kind of like going upstairs. You go up some stairs. You guys ever skip steps when you go upstairs? You ever do that, kind of to move quicker? You ever tried skipping steps going down?
I have.
It's kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, you can do it, but it's you can like almost fall. It's like going up. It's like, okay, I can do this. It's like normal almost. It's almost fun. But going down, skipping a step, it's like I'm right. It's like it's weird. You guys were designed to move uphill. That's not just physical. That's also psychological, even spiritual. Inside of you, the immaterial parts were designed to conquer, to move up, to go forward. And that's reflected in our physical bodies. Whatever challenge you're facing, that's something you have to win at. Could be schoolwork, could be a relationship, could be an addiction. Junior. Could be an addiction, Could be some emotional thing that you need to get control of. Could be your temper. Could be your speech, how you talk. Could be a project that you're trying to work on. It could be Pineview. Could be your probation. Could be something you're tempted with, whether it's at home or just inside or here or whatever. Here's the thing about those temptations. Are you ready? You got to listen. You were by design. You were designed to overcome those things. You were designed to. You are not designed to go through life as a victim. If you're going through life as a victim, you're going against your natural nature. And that's why it doesn't feel good. Does that make sense? It doesn't feel good. You were designed to overcome it. You were actually created to win. To win at life, to win at relationships, to win at whatever you set your mind to. You were by design made to have victory over that thing, whether it's internal or external. And if you meet a man who is being thrown around by life, and he's just being thrown like a lost ship in the waves of life, you're going to meet a depressed man. You're going to meet one that has to rely on substances, has to rely on other people, has to rely on things outside of himself just to get through. Without saying the name, raise your hand if you know a man like that that's being tossed around. I believe you. I believe you. You can put your hand down. It's not a good way to live. And here at Pineview, we're trying to direct the current, if you guys remember. You have that power, right? We're not trying to take power away. We're just trying to direct it, correct? Because we know you're not going to be at Pineview forever. Some of you are leaving Pineview very soon. And so when you are away from the borders, so to speak, of Pineview's structure, all of a sudden you're going to have to adapt, and some of you are going to have to do it on your own, depending on where you go. And you're going to decide, okay, what kind of river am I going to be? Am I just going to run wild and go wide and get into trouble? If you have a river, let's say this wide, and then it reaches a place, reaches a plain, and it widens out and spreads out, is its power increased or decreased?
Decrease.
So let me ask the question again. So you have a river, it's this wide, and it's roaring, and it's going fast, right? And then it hits a flat plain, and it spreads out. Does its power increase or decrease? So what's fun is
Your armpits stink.
the power is the same. Okay, you guys listening? The power itself is the same, but its effectiveness is greatly diminished. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, like a water jet. You guys ever seen those water jets that like cut metal and stuff? Have you ever seen those machines?
Yeah.
And they like blast really high pressure, really kind of like
Like stones and stuff.
yeah, they'll do stones and whatever. So they're taking a lot of water and they're forcing it really fast and hard through a little tiny hole. And that's causing it to be all cut like stone and stuff. Take that same amount of water and make that hole this big. Then what's it gonna do? Well, then it's like a kitchen faucet. It's not gonna do it. So the more channeled, you guys listening? The more channeled and tight you can keep your power, the more what it will be. It'll be stronger and more. Power is the same. The amount of power is the same, but it'll be more effective. Very good. Thank you. Good job, Willie. Willie's reading my brain. Good job. All right, so here's the thing. This might sound good, right? Sounds good, Rodney, but I've heard this from even some of you. I've heard it when I counseled in North Carolina. I've heard this. You don't know what I've been through. Sounds good, Rodney. I want to win, but you don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what's happened to me. You don't know what I've faced. You don't know the times I've been beaten down. You don't know how many times I've failed. It sounds good, but that might be for other people. You don't know how many times I've been knocked down. You don't know how many times I had no help. No one came to my aid. No one understood me. There were times when I was trying and I found myself all what? Alone. How many in here, raise your hand, have felt like all alone before? A lot of us have, yeah. So that begs the question, how do people end up losing? If we're designed to win, does everyone win?
No.
Of course not. Why haven't you won at times? Do people lose because it was just too hard? Is that possible? Do people lose because they didn't have enough support? Because they didn't have enough experience? Because they got sick?
They didn't try hard enough.
Because people abandoned them? You've heard me say this before. I want to see if you guys can finish what I'm going to say. When it comes to winning in life, whatever it may be, and you guys are right now, you're faced with a Pineview placement. It's just what it is. You have to win at Pineview if you want to move on. It's a chapter in your life. That chapter will end one day. When it comes to winning, let's see if you guys can finish this. The game isn't over when you lose. The game is over when you quit. When you quit. That's when it's over. That's when it's over. It's not when you lose. Because you can get knocked down, but what's cool about getting knocked down, you guys? You can get back up. I mean, that's a good way to say it. If you get knocked down, you absolutely have the ability to get back up again. That's what makes life good. Because it's not like you get knocked down and then that's it. One shot and you're
Or
done.
you just get taken back to camp, like in Montgomery.
Sometimes you get taken back to the start. That happens before.
Or like what Muhammad Ali says, you don't lose if you get knocked out. You lose if you stay down.
Right, same idea. Right, if you stay down. And a lot of us can choose to stay down. I've seen people, and I'm going to talk about this in a minute. I've seen people stay down. And we're going to talk about what that looks like. The game isn't over when you fail or you get knocked down or you fall down. It's not even when you're all alone. That's not when the game's over and everyone has abandoned you. It's when you quit. It's when you say, I'm done, and you give up. People quit for various reasons, and oftentimes they don't believe it's themselves. They oftentimes say, I failed because of some external issue. People quit oftentimes because it just gets too hard. They I can't do this. I can't handle this. When someone says, I can't handle this, what I would respond with is, okay, you're choosing not to handle it. It's amazing what people can handle. It's pretty shocking, actually, the terrible throes of life that can come your way, and people can still move forward. It's insane, actually, how resilient humans really are. They may say, I've lost before in that thing. And so in that area, wherever I've lost before, maybe it was too painful, maybe it was embarrassing, maybe it cost them too much, whatever it is. So say, I'm never going to try again in that area. But here's a big reason why people fail. You ready? Probably the biggest reason. Because they don't start. They don't even start. They have potential. They have something they can do. But they say, no, I'm not even going to try. Why? I want you guys to tell me. Why would someone not try? What's the reason? Gabe, tell me what's the reason. They don't think they're going to succeed, and that boils down to what emotion? You know, LeBarry?
Depression.
Well, depression will be the end result, but what's the initial emotion that someone will have?
Sadness.
Nope. It's stronger. It's stronger.
They're scared of the outcome.
Fear. Right. Fear. So they have this idea, right? I've talked to people that have ideas, and I might say, that's a great idea. And then they start to realize, okay, well, if I have this idea, it means I actually have to move forward in that idea. I have to maybe invest in that idea, my time, my energy, my money, whatever. And if I can invest all these things in this whatever idea it may be, but then they say, what if, right? What if it doesn't work out? And then all of a sudden their mind just starts spinning with all these things that could go wrong, right? Here's the fun thing about doing something. Things are gonna go wrong. It happens all the time. Things are gonna go wrong. So what they'll do is they may start a project, they may start a thing, maybe even on some self-help or some self-motivation or self-betterment, and they'll say, okay, I'm gonna start doing this thing, I'm gonna try to get over this addiction, I'm gonna try to heal this relationship with someone that's close to me or whatever it may be. It may be school. I'm gonna try to do better in school or whatever it is. And they come against one little problem, one little issue, and then they say, oh, I can't handle it. This one little thing is showing me that I might as well stop now because I'm afraid, I have fear that I'm not gonna be able to accomplish that thing. That, I believe, is the number one reason why people fail, because they don't start, because they've talked themselves out of it, because they're too afraid to even try. That's my guess. That's my guess. There's other reasons, but I see so much potential in people, in you guys. I see so much potential. And I think oftentimes you guys say no to something great you could do because you're afraid of that failure and how that's gonna make you feel if you fail. So you say, I'm not even gonna bother. How many in here have ever felt that way before? Raise your hand. About what? About fishing? Really? Like fish fishing? So was there a time that you didn't catch fish and you said, no, I'm never doing that again? Is that kind of like what it is? You've never caught one?
That's a lie. You told me that when you were little, you was catching fish like no other. You said you were the best, and you had to quit because you were so
Maybe here?
You catch pike and bass and stuff all the time.
Maybe here? Have you ever gone fishing with anyone at Pineview?
Yeah.
Okay, and you didn't catch anything?
He gets sour because he says
He
it.
gets
I can't ever catch anything.
I mean, that actually is a good example, right? And so if you, I mean, to be honest, like hunting, right? I did a lot of hunting in Alaska. And a lot of times I would carry 2 guns. Well, I carried 3, but I carried 2 hunting guns. One was for big game, and what do you think the other one was for? Little game. It would be for maybe like snow hares, like horseshoe hares, grouse, that sort of thing. Well, I had my sidearm for protection. So I'll tell you later. So I had my big rifle for the big game, but then I had my little rifle for the small game. Guess how many big game animals I took down in Alaska?
5.
Oh, that hurts me, Jackson. That you would assume 0. That would hurt me. No, he's right. It's 0. I just hate that you assume that. No, it's okay. It's okay. I know. It's the illustration. How many small game, like grouse and whatnot, do you think?
20.
48. 0.
Less than 50, more than 30.
Are we talking about
40. Oh, 40.
No, like the whole time, or whatever.
You shot 0.
I got this.
Yeah.
No moose?
No moose, no caribou. No, I've been near caribou, but they weren't close enough for me to shoot. So anyway, so here's the thing. But still, because I would go out and I wouldn't get a moose or I wouldn't get a caribou. Hold on, I don't know the number, and this is not going to be a question, but I still would go out though. Do you think after the first time I went out and I didn't get a caribou, I didn't get a moose, I stopped carrying my big rifle?
No.
I carried it every time. Now, I didn't need it for protection. I had my sidearm for that. So I didn't give up on the big game just because I went out too many times to count without getting big game.
Wait. So if that moose is running at you, you're using that big gun, you're using your side.
Side.
Wait. What caliber is your side? 40?
No, it was a .357 revolver. Yeah.
That's why I stick to magic.
I had to draw on a moose, but I didn't have to shoot him. Her. All right, where am I at here? We're getting sidetracked with hunting.
Did
He says, hold up.
you ever look into buying a Dutch?
No. All right, what does quitting actually look like practically? What does it look like?
Loser.
Well, I mean, really. It could be someone giving up. It could be someone leaving physically. Like, I'm going to leave this situation. I'm giving up. It could be emotionally giving up. They might still be there physically, but emotionally they said, I'm done. This would be disconnected or detached. Another way of quitting is substituting. So you have something you want to do. The fear begins to take you over and say, I can't do that, but I still want the feel good of accomplishment. So you're going to substitute it with something that's actually turns out to be bad for you. Substances, a bad hobby, whatever it is. Something that distracts or numbs you away from actually what's good. So here's the thing though, when it comes to winning and losing. There are times while you're trying to win, there are times where you're going to lose. You're going to lose sometimes. And here's the thing about losing. As much as that may not feel good, you have to be okay with it. You have to be okay with losing, even a lot of times.
Ronnie, he just farted, bro.
That's okay. It happens. No one wins every game. Nobody wins every game. It happens every time, Jackson. I'm just so used to it. I'm so used to it by now. No one wins every game. Okay, I know you still can use your ears. Don't use your noses, but use your ears. No one wins every game. Nobody makes every play. No one has victory over every single opponent, whether in sports or business or family or Pineview. You're not going to win every single time. That's just not reality. So if you're wanting to win, if you're designed to win, but you're not going to win every time, then what's the key? Like, what do?
You try hard.
The key to a successful life, you guys ready? The key to a successful life is how many times you get up. It's really not even how many times you lose. Because some people, depending on their life or their situation or whatever, they may lose more times than others. The more times you get up from a bird's eye view, looking at your life, if you put your life in a timeline and you saw got knocked down, got knocked down, got knocked down, got knocked down, and then you look at another person, got knocked down, got knocked down, got knocked down, the key is not how many times or even the severity of the knockdowns. It's if that person what? Got up, got up, got up, got up. It's amazing when you find somebody that actually achieves something and they become successful, and you start talking about the journey from where they were to where they are. You start asking them about how many times they got knocked down. It is sobering. It's like, good night. Yeah, just like that. It is sobering. It's like, sometimes I'm like, why didn't you give up? At what point do you just say, this ain't for me? And the people who are actually successful say, I'll get up every time. I don't care if it's 100 or 1,000 times. If you really want something, the number of get-ups, the number of failures, they don't even really care. They just see it as the journey towards success. And that could be you guys at Pineview. That could be, whatever. That could be your high school. It could be your family. The key to success, having a successful life, it's how many times you get up.
You still quit running?
I may redirect.
You don't quit?
So Jackson asked a good question. He said, do I never quit, basically? So what I'll do, if I'm headed towards a goal, if I want to achieve something, what I do is I kind of go after that goal really hard, but I'm also open to redirection, if that makes sense. There's sometimes when you're facing something you want to do, but life comes in, something comes in, and I say, you know what? Actually, I need to adjust that slightly. But I don't quit like the whole game, right? I don't quit the war, but I may readjust the battle. That might be a good way to say it.
Don't pull the white flag.
No, I never pull the white flag. I don't have a white flag, and that has cost me dearly. Now, redirecting that battle, it may change the goal a little bit in specifics, but not in general. Does that make sense? Okay.
Sir, I was looking at the...
It's over when you quit. I'm going to tell you about this guy real quick, then we'll be done. Thomas Edison. Y'all learn about Thomas Edison?
I didn't fail 150 infinite ways. I found infinite ways to not make a light
bulb. It's kind of close, that I got written down here. So he's like, basically you could say pretty much the most famous inventor that we have. He obviously invented the incandescent light bulb, the phonograph, and the motion picture camera. Those are three of his big ones. These were great inventions that led to other great inventions. But before his success with the light bulb, how many failures do you think he had?
1,156.
Thousands. He had thousands.
1 billion.
And what Jackson was trying to say, this is what Thomas Edison said. You ready? Thomas Edison said, with those failures, so to speak, with the things that didn't work before the success, here's what he said. He says, I haven't failed. He says, I haven't failed. I just found 10,000 ways it didn't work. Which I think, yeah, you got to, dab up. I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work. So that means if you found 10,000 ways that didn't work, what did he ultimately find? The one way that worked. That worked. Could you imagine after 100 tries if he gave up, or 1,000? I'm sure when he got to like 5, 10,000, like his people are like, dude, just stop, man. Just stop. You're driving yourself crazy. Look at you. You're just tinkering and you're doing this, you're doing that. Just stop, bro. But he didn't. He kept moving. When I was in sales training, they basically told us a ratio of 10 to 1. They said when you present something, when you're trying to sell something, it's 10 to 1. 10 people will say what?
Yes.
No.
What?
And one person will say yes. So if I want 10 sales, how many presentations do I need to do? 100. That's exhausting, just so you guys are aware. That's exhausting. But in sales, it's about 10 to 1. That is a true thing. So here's what I want to leave you with, and we'll be done. If you can learn how to lose well, do you hear me?
Yes. You said
If you can learn how to lose well, you'll win in the big stuff. You will. Because, kind of like the white flag analogy, if you put away a white flag, if you don't have a white flag, do you all know what white flag is? That's where you give up. White flag, I surrender. That's what the white flag is. If you learn how to lose well, what really is a loss, really ultimately for you in your life? It's a what? It's a motivator, but before it's a motivator, it's a lesson. Man, Willie's on fire, you guys. Willie's on fire today. Golly. All right. He is on fire today. All right, very good. That's all I got for you right now. So a couple things, what we're gonna do. All right. Thank you for joining us, Caleb. I appreciate that. So what we're gonna do, it's a little bit different today. Is Amber not here? Yeah. All right. That's why I got this set up for. So here, listen up. We're gonna do the pay attention prizes. We're gonna do small groups, and then you have to stay here to leave the chairs, because I think Miss Amber has like a special like announcement thing for you, and she has to use the video thing. I don't know. Oh yeah. All right, so let's do the pay attention prizes, then we'll do small groups, okay?
We did small groups first.